Well, I think it's safe to say this shit escalated quickly. Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Not only were the bodies of Jillian Kelly and Veronica Butler found after we just did the arrest video, we got the affidavit. I'm JB Gunner. This thing has been planned for a long time. I'm just going to say that. This is a crazy story. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let's get into it.
Bring it back.
Well, what's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Now, before we get started, let me first and foremost say thank you to everybody that supports the channel, any of my channels, regardless of platform and method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, PayPal. Guys, truth is, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. Big shout out to you guys. Love you so much. And if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad today. Big shout out to my boy. Let me do something real quick. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to Intra Vortex, who hit me with a $400 super chat yesterday. Super thanks. I just want to say thank you very much to Intra Vortex. I appreciate you very much, as usual. Thank you for once again being part of the Gun Squad. Appreciate you, brother. That was a hell of a surprise, and thank you. I mean, I don't even know what to say other than that, but thank you, man. But anyway, back to this. We're going to get back to this story because, guys, this story escalated really, really quickly. Really quickly. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, and let's start talking about it while I'm babbling and shit. 2 bodies are found in hunt for Kansas moms who disappeared 2 weeks ago. As police arrest 4 people, which we knew this as we did the video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, for murder and kidnapping after pools of blood were found next to their empty car. We all know the case. Veronica Butler, Jillian Kelly were traveling together to pick up Butler's children, aged 6 and 8, on March 30 when they disappeared. Officials have now found 2 bodies in Oklahoma's Texas County. 4 people were arrested after a huge Oklahoma SWAT raid over the weekend. We already know the 4 people that were arrested. We did this video. So we can skip past a good portion of this. We can let News Nation tell you a little bit. Obviously, the 2 bodies were recovered. And then we're going to move past this to the affidavit.
Found in a rural area of Oklahoma are being examined today. Authorities are trying to determine whether or not they belong to the 2 mothers from Kansas who went missing over Easter weekend. Kelsey is here with us. Kelsey, talk about major developments that came in this weekend, including SWAT storming in, 4 arrests. Our crews were there for the entire thing as it unfolded.
Yeah, hey there, Marky. That was a shocking scene, and we're going to get to that. But right now, I can tell you that officials, they are trying to now identify those 2 bodies that were found, and they're trying to determine the cause of death. Investigators say that they fear that these 2 bodies are of the 2 missing women, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. There were also several arrests this weekend. Right now, these 4 individuals here on your screen are suspected in the disappearance of the 2 women. They are currently being housed in a Texas County jail, each facing first-degree murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy charges. 54-year-old Tiffany Adams, her boyfriend, Tad Collum, and Cole and Cora Twombly. And Tiffany Adams is the grandmother of the 2 children that Veronica Butler was on her way to pick up on March 30th. Adams, we know, was fighting against more visitation. Oklahoma investigators have not said what led them to charge these 4 suspects. But take a look at this video here, only seen here on News Nation. More than 20 SWAT...
Well, no, plenty of us have showed it.
...and police vehicles headed to various locations in Texas and Cimarron counties in Oklahoma. Outside of one compound, we know that News Nation overheard an officer using a loudspeaker saying, "We have a warrant for your arrest." The officers were heavily armed and cautious towards anyone who approached them, even our team at News Nation. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly were on their way to pick up Butler's 2 children from school when they went missing last month. Their car was later spotted on the side of the road abandoned. We know Butler was in a bitter custody battle with the father of her children.
This
Kelly
is wild.
was a court-approved supervisor during Butler's visitation. Now, we have learned that just 10 days before the women went missing, Butler filed a petition seeking full custody of her children. And that court hearing would have been this Wednesday. The 2 moms' close-knit community are deeply grieving over their loss.
We read in the Bible that evil is in the world, and some people that don't know Jesus Christ are full of evil. as a Christian, we should forgive. But we also have to have the laws of the government take over too.
Law enforcement is expected to give an update on their search for the two missing mothers and the
Which they
bodies
did.
that they found later on this morning. Mark.
Which they did. There was an 18-minute, just so you know, there was an 18-minute press conference, which I'm not going to show because it's pointless because we have the affidavit. Initially with this video, I was going to go over the press conference and all that, but listen, there's plenty of other YouTubers that did that this morning. I'm just going to stick right here to the facts. The press conference, yeah, it might interest you a little bit. I can tell you now, I watched it on Harsh's channel, and it was a boring fucking thing. We were busy talking about, what's that goddamn Indian food? Curry or whatever. We were busy talking about that. We weren't even paying attention.
We will be following.
By the way, Harsh, curry sucks, period, and so does seafood. Foul women. That's what it is.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see what OSBI has to share. And thinking of those families, those kids this morning, Kelsey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
So here's what we got. Obviously, we got the bodies found. We got arrest made. They're saying forensic evidence critical in missing mom's investigation, which that's clear. I mean, we obviously had the blood there. There is some new details released in the missing mom's case. Suspect's court date has been set.
To the DA for Texas County, George Leach, and he tells me that the first court appearances for these 4 suspects in custody will happen Wednesday morning. We also just got the affidavits in this case,
which we will be
all
looking
kinds
at.
of new
It's crazy.
information about the suspects and their alleged actions. Of course, we now have confirmation that the custody battle in this case is linked to the murders of Veronica.
And once again, I'm just going to say this, and you guys are not going to like what I got to say. When we live in a country where the family courts are so fucked up, and most of the time men don't get custody of their kids, we have this case in which he did, and it clearly was Veronica Butler who was the woman that, you know how horrible, look man, you know how horrible a mother you have to be to actually lose your kids to a dude? And I think we all know this. With the numbers 87%. 87% of the time women get custody and child support of the kids. Men typically do not get them. It's rare. So for you to be the 1 out of 10 women that lose your custody, you got to do some serious shit. I've seen crackheads get back their kids. And so when you're dealing with this kind of battle, once again, where a woman is attempting to take the custody away from the men, I'm not surprised, to be honest, that they responded in this way. I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying I'm not surprised. Because in this country, family courts are fucked up, and men lose their children for the sorriest reasons, because we have this belief that the kids belong to the women. It's a really strange thing. And listen, like I said, I'm not justifying the family. I'm only explaining why this tension builds in men. And it's because it's a constant onslaught. It is a constant, oppression. I hate to use the word oppression, but it is.
And Jillian, and at the heart of it is Grandma Tiffany Adams. From the affidavit, which we're still going through, we've learned Tiffany Adams' preferred court-approved supervisor was a woman named Cheryl Brune. Well, Adams said Bruni was unavailable on March 30th, so Veronica was required to find someone else. Well, Veronica contacted Jillian to do it that day. And Adams told the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation on March 29th that the kids spent the night at a friend's house. Adams was going to pick them up before the visitation. She called Veronica at 9 that morning to confirm the meeting, and on the 30th, but Butler told Adams something came up and she was not going to make it. Phone records confirmed that call.
Damn.
But phone records indicate Veronica was picking up Jillian at that time. Adams picked the children up before noon from the friend's house. When OSBI interviewed Bruni, she said she was available to supervise that day, but Adams told her to take a couple of weeks off.
Damn.
Now, recordings were obtained where Rickman where the father, Wrangler Cole Rickman, discussed death threats by Adams and Tad Cullum. And
they were threatening the son.
In the affidavit, sometimes.
So they were threatening the father too.
Adams even kept the kids, refused to let Rickman see them. Her own son.
Shit.
Rickman's grandma told him in mid-February that, quote, they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because Adams had it under control. Now, Adam's cell phone searches include web searches.
Yeah, some of y'all grandmas need to chill the fuck out. It's none of your goddamn business. Leave that shit. How the fuck did this bitch get all these people to go along with this plot?
For taser pain level, gunshots, prepaid cell phones, and how to get someone out of their house. We are also now learning that the Twombleys, the two that are also in custody, Cole and Cora, their 16-year-old daughter told investigators she overheard group conversations about Veronica not protecting kids from her brother allegedly sexually abusing them. We're still going. So
they believe that the woman's brother was sexually abusing them. Is that why she lost the kids? I'm curious to know that. Why I want to know why the fat chick lost the kids to begin with.
Through these court affidavits, I've also read that on that morning, Jillian Kelly had a firearm in her purse.
Ooh.
And when law enforcement responded to the scene, there was no firearm. They took
her goddamn gun.
And over the weekend, News Nation on the ground obtaining exclusive video of the arrest warrants being served on these four people in custody. We are now learning more about them, going through these affidavits still, and there is still much more information that we're gleaning. The news conference, they would not confirm, Nicole, whether the bodies found over the weekend are those of Veronica.
See what I'm saying? The press conference really wasn't shit. They didn't even confirm that.
But it is strongly suspected that they are. We're awaiting confirmation from the medical examiner's office. And take a listen, from the news conference, that investigators knew early on that there was a focus. This was some kind of targeted hit. Take a listen.
All right, there was a lot of questions from the public as was there any danger to the public? And I think from the get-go, once we arrived on scene, that and we gained a little bit of information that we felt this wasn't a random deal. All right, we felt that with some of the information coming in,
and just like I told you, that's why they weren't looking. Everybody was asking, why aren't they out looking? Why aren't they out looking? Well, because they already fucking knew.
It was more targeted, and we started to look in those areas that we were pointed to.
And that's the Texas County Sheriff who I chatted with this morning. He seemed truly relieved about this investigation. Over 100 investigators have been working on this case nonstop for 2 weeks since these women went missing. We continue to go through these affidavits.
You know what? Let's let that go and let's get to the affidavit, shall we? So obviously we know the suspects were arrested. We know all this, and they got this big write-up. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to read the affidavit. This is for Tiffany Adams. So I don't know if there's different affidavits for anybody else, but I'm going to go ahead and just read this to you and go through it. It says, all right, the affidavit of probable cause for arrest warrant. The undersigned of lawful age being first duly sworn upon oath deposes and states the following. I am Special Agent Jason Ott of the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. I have been a law enforcement officer in the states of Kansas and Oklahoma for 27 years and served in the capacity of an investigator for over 20. I have read and prepared certain official investigative reports and statements of witnesses regarding the above-named defendant, and from these statements and reports, it appears as follows. On Saturday, March 30th, 2024, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation investigative services with the suspicious disappearance of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly from rural Texas County after their vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 95 and Road L south of Elkhart, Kansas. Butler and Kelly were traveling to Oklahoma from Hugoton, Kansas. Interviews were conducted related to the disappearance, and it was discovered that Butler was in a problematic custody battle with Tiffany Adams for custody of Butler's 2 children. So it wasn't even the father that was going through this battle. This is fucked up. Wasn't even dad going through the custody battle. Oh no, let's go. Okay, let's continue. The father of those children was Wrangler Rickman, Adam's son. Butler's visitation with her children was court-ordered to be supervised every Saturday. Adams had a particular person she preferred to supervise those visitations, and that was Cheryl Broom. The court ordered Adams to pay Broom to supervise visits if that was who she wanted to be present. Otherwise, Butler was to choose and pay for the person to supervise. Adams says Broom was unavailable to supervise the visitation on March 30th, 2024, so Butler was required to arrange the supervision with one of her 3 approved individuals. Butler contacted Kelly of Hugoton and planned to have her supervise the visit. This is wild, right? Butler told family members she was going to pick up her children from Adams at 10 o'clock at 4 Corners. That's intersection, blah, blah. Butler and Kelly left Hugoton, Kansas, and traveled to Highway 95 and Road L, about 5 miles north of 4 Corners. Butler and Kelly arrived at that location at approximately 9:40. Butler planned to bring her daughter to a birthday party, but after they did not arrive, the family began looking for Butler. Melissa and Joey Padilla, who were Butler's family members, located Butler's abandoned vehicle just west of the intersection of Highway 95 and Road L. The Padillas then contacted law enforcement at about 12:09. An examination of the vehicle and area surrounding the vehicle found evidence of a severe injury. Blood was found on the roadway and edge of the roadway. Damn. Butler's glasses were also found on the roadway south of the vehicle near a broken hammer. A pistol magazine was found inside Kelly's purse at the scene, but no pistol was found. That's that pistol she had and they couldn't find. But did these motherfuckers get beat up with a hammer? Adams told OSBI that on Friday night, Rickman and Butler's children stayed the night with Barrett and Lacey Cook. Adams said she planned to pick them up that morning before visitation. Adams said she called Butler at 9 o'clock to confirm the meeting, and Butler told Adams something came up and she was not going to make it. Obviously a lie. Butler's phone records confirmed that this call occurred. However, at the time of the call, Butler was actually in Hugoton, Kansas, in the process of picking Kelly up to go meet Adams. Adams stated she was home at the time that Butler and Kelly went missing. Adams picked the children up before 12 from the Cook's residence. So they did this murder and then went and picked up the kids. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. OSBI interviewed Brune, and she said she was available, actually, to supervise the kids that day. But Adams told her to take a couple of weeks off from the visitation so Adams could question the children related to how Butler's approved visitation supervisors were. Butler and Kelly's phone records indicated their devices were actively sending signals to their carriers until approximately 9:42. After which the devices were no longer seen by the network since they actually stopped transmitting. Neither phone was found at the scene or within the vehicle, and they are currently missing. Adams was the last known person to communicate with Butler and was scheduled to meet Butler and Kelly for visitation at 10 o'clock that morning. Through the child custody case, recordings were obtained where Rickman himself, the son, the father, discussed death threats by Adams and Adams' boyfriend, Tad Cullen. So they were giving death threats to the father. The custody battle began in February of 19 with many hearings and court appearances. On March 18, 2024 and March 20, 2024, motions were filed requesting an extended visitation for Butler. A hearing was scheduled to occur on April 17, 2024. That's 2 days from now. Butler's attorney informed OSBI that Butler was likely to receive unsupervised visitation with her children at that hearing. At times, Adams refused to let Rickman have his children, even though Rickman had legal custody of them. See what I'm saying? And nobody stepped in and gave the father his custody. Man, law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where Adams refused to give Rickman the children, his children. Reportedly, the officers told Rickman he believed the children were better off in Adams' care. The officer told Rickman, see what I'm saying? He was the father, had custody, and the cops were like, it's still better off in the grandma's care. What the fuck? Rickman's grandmother, Debbie Knox Davis, reported that in mid to late February, Rickman told her they didn't have to worry about that custody battle much longer because Adams had it under control. That Adams knew the path the judge walked to work, and we will take out Veronica at drop-off. Ooh. Rickman was confirmed to be in rehabilitation facility in Oklahoma at the time of the disappearance. The children remain in the custody of Adams. Rickman denied having that conversation with Knox. So Rickman's grandma told on him that Rickman knew that this shit was going on. This is really strange. Why would Rickman work with her, with his mother, when she had threatened him? On April 1st, 2024, OSBI agents obtained this. Well, here's the truth. They haven't arrested Rickman, so that's probably not the case. OSBI agents obtained a search warrant for Adams' cell phone. OSBI agents performed an extraction on the device. Information gained from the device included web searches for taser pain level, gun shops, prepaid cellular phones, and how to get someone out of their house. On April 3rd, 2024, they interviewed CW, age 16. That was the daughter. This is the daughter of Cora Twombly and Kobe White. Cora is married to Cole Twombly. CW stated that she had overheard group conversations related to Butler not protecting her children from her brother, all in reference to sexual abuse allegation. CW advised that she was told by Cora that Adams, Colum, Cora, and Cole and Paul Grice were involved in the deaths. Paul Grice were involved in the deaths of Butler and Kelly. There's a whole other motherfucker there. She stated that Adams had provided burner phones to use so they can communicate without using their personal devices. CW saw 2 burner phones charging on Cora's nightstand in her bedroom. CW described Cora, Cole, Adams, Callum, and Paul Grice as being part of an anti-government group that had a religious affiliation. So what? Through OSBI investigation, it was learned that they call their group God's Misfits. The Devil's Reject type shit, right? This is some Devil's Reject type shit, no doubt about it. Regular meetings are held weekly at Twombly's in the home of Barrett and Lacey Cook. CW was told on March 29th that Cora and Cole would not be home in the morning when she woke and were going on a mission. When CW awoke at approximately 10 o'clock, Cora and Cole were not home, but came home around 12 o'clock. CW knew that Cole and Cora took a blue and gray Chevy pickup owned by them and a blue flatbed pickup owned by Clint Twombly. When they left and returned in the same vehicles, CW was told to clean up the interior of the Chevy pickup. CW asked Cora what had happened and was told that things did not go as planned, but they would not have to worry about Butler again. Clear mission to this. So this is the daughter telling on him. We've had the grandma telling, we've had the daughter telling. Shit. CW was told that Cora and Cole blocked the road to stop Butler and Kelly and divert them to where Adams, Golem, and Grice were. CW asked about Kelly and why she had to die and was told by Cora that she wasn't innocent either and she had supported Butler. CW asked Cora if their bodies were put in a well, and Cora replied something like that. Here's the thing. Why would they tell all this to a 16-year-old? That seems weird, doesn't it? CW also disclosed that other attempts to kill Butler during February of 2024 near Huggington, Kansas, in which Adams, Cole, Cora, and Grice went to Huggington, but Butler did not leave her residence. This is consistent with the web search discovered on Adams' phone about how to get someone out of their home. According to Cora, the plan was to throw an anvil through Butler's windshield while driving, making it look like an accident because anvils regularly fall off of work vehicles. Jesus Christ. While in Carrick, Texas, interviewing CW and her brother, Cora and Cole arrived and tried to get access to CW and her brother. Cora was verbally aggressive and was very upset with your affiant that she was not granted access to CW and her brother. Cole exited the vehicle armed with a handgun and a holster on his belt. OSBI investigation showed that Adams searched for gun shops on her cellular phone. A search of local gun shops showed Adams buying 5 stun guns at the Big R store in Guymon, Oklahoma. The purchase was made on March 23, 2024. OSBI investigation showed that Adams purchased 3 prepaid cellular phones from Walmart in Guymon on February 13th. The phones were identified by those phone numbers. Search warrants for information related to location services and phone usage were completed for each device. It was learned that all 3 phones were in the area where Butler's car was located and last known location of Butler and Kelly at the very time of their disappearance. Yeah, these motherfuckers are fucked. All 3 phones were powered on and accessed the cellular network for the first time at or near Cullum's residence at different times, prior to March 30th, 2024. On March 30th, 2024, those numbers before Butler and Kelly's disappearance were at Twombly's residence prior to going to or near Cullum's residence. Butler and Kelly disappeared at 10:05 and 10:16 hours, and then the phone numbers were in that very area at or near Cullum's residence. After Butler and Kelly's disappearance on March 30th, 2024, between 10:16 and 10:35, it was determined that those phone numbers were at the property owned by Jamie Beasley, below a dam in the pasture where fresh dirt work was located by your affiant. Concrete was moved from a location near Beasley's residence approximately 150 to 200 yards below the dam, where it was discovered that a hole had been dug and filled back in and then covered with hay. The location where Butler and Kelly disappeared from and where Butler's vehicle was located is approximately 8.5 miles away from this location, below the dam on Beasley's property, giving drive time from the location of where Butler's vehicle was located to Beasley's property well within the 34 minutes between the time of their phones stopping transmission and them arriving at the dam on Beasley's property. All prepaid phones stopped transmitting on the morning of March 30th, 2024 at locations near Twombly's residence and Beasley's property. Ain't this a bitch? They went through all this trouble to buy burner phones, and that's what's going to get them hit up. These motherfuckers are dumb. Wherefore, affiant prays this court to issue a warrant for the arrest of the defendant that he or she may be brought within, here we go, murder in the first degree, kidnapping, conspiracy. That's what they have, and all of them have been charged with this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a done deal. In my opinion, this is a done deal. These motherfuckers right here are guilty. And I know what you're gonna say. Well, what about the phone pings in the Coburn case? There was nothing. The phone was off. These motherfuckers were clearly right there, and they have their family telling on them. This is an open and shut case. In my opinion, we have a clear situation where these people killed Veronica Butler over this custody hearing, and Jillian Kelly, because she was the one that happened to be there with her. She was part of it. And clearly this woman is a crazy, I can't believe this woman had all these people go along with her on this situation, but she did. I think it's open shut. I mean, I think the only thing now is going to be court, right? I'm sure we'll get a few details trickle in. This is pretty much what everybody thought. I can't believe this. I wonder if the father had anything to do with this. And who's the fifth guy, the Gru Grice or whatever his name was? Why isn't he in this group? I'm sure it's coming. I think that Grice dude is still going to get taken down, and I think the dad is going to get taken down. If what the dad told the grandmother is true, which why would she lie about it? He could have been part of this plan this entire time, which is just shit. This sounds dumb. There's too much talk in here. And of course, everybody wants to throw in there that they were sovereign citizens, and, you know, people love to do that. They're going to say they're far-right extremists with guns. I guarantee you, it's coming. It's coming. But it looks like they killed the bitches with a hammer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Was it a gun? I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I guess we'll just see where this goes from here. This escalated quick as fuck. I'm JB Gunner, this is Crime Time. If you like what I do here, feel free to hit the links down below, support the channel. I'm gonna get this to you out immediately. This was wild. Let me know what you think. That was a wild affidavit. Wild as shit. You can see the difference between that affidavit and the Kohlberger one, right? It's clear.